All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to what will be the final set of Hanchan for the first year of the American Ricci Mahjong League. Nathaniel here, joined by Korak. How's it going?
Hello.
I cannot wait. I mean, it's been a while. We've delayed the end of the season for about half a week, but here it is, the final two Hanchan.
Yeah, this is the last matchup of the entire year. It's a B1 matchup with Andrew, Josh, Clinton, and Travis. One of the important things in ARML is we do not force people to commit to a specific time or date. And we're right around that Christmas season. And I know there are at least two people at this table who have very irregular schedules. So they ended up flowing over. We have that extra week built in to handle just this.
Absolutely. And I heard a gong, which means we're into the game.
We are. Josh's first dealer here. Of course, see a little bit of acceleration. I think we're a bit lagged on it. It'll eventually catch. There we go. So deer here has a Pinfu type hand, maybe a Sunshku 345 or 456 on the right. Definitely a Pinfu hand, maybe that 234 Sunshku, also potentially Peiko. Across the way, pretty standard Pinfu hand. You'll have to pull a Dora in to get some value out of it. Maybe a Peiko and upper pin, and on the left, maybe 123 Sunshiku, but I think you just take anything you can get there.
Nice uncle pulling from Josh. Josh sitting in 15th place currently. It turns out that that's a fairly comfortable seat, as the demotions that are currently listed here may not
Oh
turn out
no,
this
we had an
way.
unfortunate disconnect as that Formon fills in very well for Travis,
Ooh,
but there he goes.
hopefully we can get connection back quickly. Travis on the left, Andrew perhaps holding this tile a little bit longer than normally on the right to give some time for Travis to connect.
And that definitely looks like Travis is back now. Can't really use that Hatsu. But yeah, as you're saying, the demotions here are a bit misleading because of the lack of fills from B2. In order to get that promotion, even if there are spots, you still have to be at plus minus zero. So three people did not qualify because there were so many spaces in B2. I believe it was 13 out of 20 in theory could have promoted. Instead, they came up three short. So that means the bottom three in B1 will end up demoted. But unless anyone falls down below End or F, they're in pretty good shape here. With the two games, that would take some ridiculously bad luck.
And of course, that means that it's Josh and Clinton are actually fairly secure in the standings, Travis as well. And I know Andrew's way up at the top in first place overall with some incentive here, not just trying to end this game, but rather, I know Andrew's been looking to finish the season in first place overall in this group and has, in the first two Hanchan, worked his way all the way up into first. So we'll see if he can stay there.
Andrew's just been playing standard, straightforward, by the book mahjong, and has served very well. It'll be a little interesting to see next season how it works out in A2, but
Each.
certainly dominated the B1 table here. And we see there's the Ricci on the right. That is a Ricci Pinfu Dora, but it's Furi 10.
Yeah, we'll see if this pans out. 5-8, three, only two left in the wall, actually. Josh has been looking for this Sanshok, who now has two different ways it could go, but you prefer the 4-5-6. Don't want to
Right,
discard
plus you'd have to throw that 6 into. Well,
each.
there you go. That's an easy chase. Ricci Dora, possible Sun Shogun needing the 6 so. There are three of those out, and the 3 so also has three out. So, not actually a very good weight.
So neither player with a
Come
good
on.
weight at this point. Oh, but there's a 6. Will be held by Travis. And Dora
Yeah,
comes
that's
out, but
like
that does pass.
it always feels bad when you draw that Dora. Although it's not as bad having already thrown the 3 into it.
Only four tiles remain.
Let's see a Chi here. Would not be Tempai, though. So, just goes ahead and passes it.
Travis will also find it difficult to make it to Tempai here.
Sumo.
Oh, there it is.
Sumo gets the cheap end, but I mean, you definitely take it. Ricci, Sumo Dora. No Aura, so it doesn't get the manga down. Nice little 8,000 point hand to start off. Josh will be dealer again, East 1-1. Pinfu Han, also a Dora, maybe a 3-5 Sanju, or potentially Peiko in So. On the right, Pinfu, possibly Peiko there as well, but you have two Dora, so plenty of options across the way. Few pairs. Not definitely. You have to at least think about the Chitoitsu. I mean, you'd obviously like to draw the 8 or 5 mon to turn that into a Peiko, but when you're sitting there without any pairs, you at least think about it. And then on the left, whole bunch of ones. The question is, can you turn this into a particularly fun hand like a Honroto or maybe a Sunshu Doko eventually?
Yeah, Josh has been playing this very straightforward as dealer. The only issue is you might find a Tempai that doesn't include the Dora 5-pin, and this 4 or so doesn't really help. So you'd prefer to draw like a 4-pin here and be able to drop away from the 7-9 Mon block, but if you just complete
It's
that...
been cut there by Clinton, cutting the 8-pin. Normally you just cut the 6-so and play efficiently, but it's definitely decided it's going to be a direct, straightforward hand. And that 1-pin, you can see the temptation to call here just because finishing this close just seems so difficult.
Yeah, Clinton doesn't need the 6-so and the 3-so, but could use it to make a Sanshoku.
Well, okay, there's your 6. And yeah, okay, now you cut the 6-so. And you're really hoping to draw that 5 mon, but I mean, you're ramen in mon. So any of 1, 4, 5, or 8, and that will be a Riichi Pinfu, possibly Peiko.
Which one would you prefer here?
I honestly can't tell much of a difference. I probably would have cut the So just because Mon are looking fairly cheap on the board, but I'm not confident in that at all.
Yeah, this is probably never going to be Tanyo, but...
Dealers Ishan 10 as well for Riichi Pinfu, possibly Peiko. There's the Peiko, and there's Riichi Pinfu Peiko. 2 5-so. The 5s are 3 in hand, and the 2-so is 1 discarded and none in hands. So it's actually a whole bunch of outs here.
And Andrew pushes the Tsuji. Oh, the 2 comes out, though.
Riichi Pinfu Peiko. Nice little win there. Will there be Aura? No, but still, 3,900 and the home bun there chick back. And Clinton will take that as we move to East 2.
Andrew's first chance as dealer.
Deer has a middling hand here. There's not much value. It's not particularly fast. If you draw that 2-pin door, it gets a little bit better. But I'm generally not impressed with hands like this. Although if you draw the 5 mon, all of a sudden looks a lot better. On the right, we see the South has been called. Will just likely be the 1 Han, although it can't accept the 2-pin Dora. Then you start getting greedy. Do you believe in Sanshoku? Do you believe in just the Dora itself? How do you want to play? Even here with this 6, or you could just cut the 1-so and play straightforward. The problem is some of your draws on that 6-pin will end up being 4-10. Across the way, Pinfu, Tanyo, Taipan there. You do have that loose 2-pin door. If you pair it up, then you can even just call and go. On the left, that definitely feels like an Itsu. Although if you get the Peiko, I think you just take it.
Yeah, interesting. We saw.
Oh my goodness, look at that shape. We'll just take the Riichi-Nomi. I think I like more greed here.
1 4-so Nobetan taken. There are 4 in the wall.
4. There's 1-so and actually 2 4-so.
Each.
Well, we're going to see a chase here by Andrew as dealer. This is also Riichi-Nomi.
Oh. Back-to-back Dora discards.
Chi.
You have to chi it, don't you? There it goes. And that's a Tempai. You have to call that, don't you? Shove the 7. South Dora, the 1-4 on the other hand, looks pretty good right now. The only thing is you see all those 4s in the dealer's hand here. And the question is, do you throw the Tsuji 3 and take the worse weight? Or do you just shove the 2 and take your good weight, especially on that 1?
The 5-so is actually Nakatsuji here, so it's not terrible. Oh, interesting. Ends up switching anyway.
Oh, there's the 7, and that's going to be Riichi-Nomi. No aura, but does get back to the 30,000 starting point. Andrew will have another Dio turn here.
Ooh. That's two
Ooh, this
Dora.
is one of those hands where you go, how much value can I get from it? And then you realize those pay or Dora, and it's like, we'll just take whatever we can get then. If pay weren't Dora, what do you like cutting in this hand?
It's awkward because it's kind of close to a Chanta. And
It's close
also
to
an
Shanta,
Itsu.
it's close to Itsu. It gives so many options. A fun way to play the hand. But with two Dora, you just play straightforward.
Yeah, we haven't
On
seen
the right,
any
we have
strange
four
discards yet.
pairs. Yeah, on the right, we have four pairs. I mean, Peiko and Pen across the way of the Haku pair. You can probably just call that down. There isn't much value elsewhere. So even when you're in fourth place, 1,000 may be the way to go. And on the left, that is four pairs as well. But the shapes are slightly better. Maybe even a Tanya shift eventually. Ooh, dealer now Ishan 10.
It just breaks away from the Penchon. Oh, and there's an ideal draw, an upgrade to
Oh,
Gammon.
yeah, that's great. Now, interesting there. I'd have definitely cut the 8-mon first in case I ended up drawing 2-mon or to potentially upgrade to any Peiko.
Yeah, I wonder if Andrew drew the 7-mon, would he go back to the 2d10 shape? Well,
Beach.
Well,
this works great.
doesn't matter. A Riichi Pin Fudora too. Don't ask for too much more. Now, this weight's actually terrible. There's one left in the wall at this point.
Yeah,
It's a bit unfortunate when your weight end up being eaten by pairs in a Chitoitsu hand.
right. Well, it doesn't have to be Chitoi, though. We'll see how Clinton plays this. Technically, Ishanten here for even a normal hand.
No, just gonna mostly fold out that 9. So you still have some options later, but don't want to throw in this dealer Ricci. Of course, you didn't know the dealer Ricci is that expensive. Ishan 10 across the way.
Ishanten on the left as well, but for basically no value.
On the right, a different Ishan 10. If it's taken. Oh no! Trust the 9 and deals in to a Giller Mongon here, and Andrew will take a big lead.
Oh my.
Wow.
Ishanten for Sanshoku plus Dora?
Yeah, could even be. Well, I guess you wouldn't take the Pinfu regardless. Wow. Ooh, that's a fun draw. Do you cut 2 pin?
I guess holding the 2-pin gives you... Well, I guess you could use the Dora
You'd get
regardless
more
of if you have it or
efficiency,
not.
but less value. Oh, this is so frustrating. All these shapes, the 5, 6, 6, 7, 1, 2, 2, 3, 5, 6, 6, 7. You're just looking at your tiles going, really? I have this monster starting hand, and this is what I draw?
You really are looking for the 6-so here, and there are 3 in the wall.
You'll definitely take the 2 pin or the 6 mon as well. Ricci,
Oh, absolutely.
Sun, Scudora, good enough.
I guess the 9-so is equally as good of a pair weight as the other two, but you lose your Peiko chances on the other side, so just throws it back.
And the ability to accept another Dora.
Okay, here we go.
Well, there you go. Ricci, Sun, Scudora. Instead, Dama is waiting on 6-so. So it'll be Sun Scudora waiting on that 6-so, and it may come out.
Yeah,
Nope, throws the 8-mon.
that floating 6-so in Travis's hand, unless he draws something around that.
Ishanten on the right, but similarly, a really annoying shape unless you draw 2-so or 5-so. And Travis is doing a pretty good job of dodging here, throwing the 1-mon instead, breaking that pair. Shifting towards Tanya, may end up being rewarded for it. On the right, we have Tempai, but without a Yaku for, I guess, what would be Sumo Dora.
Sumo.
Oh, speaking of Sumo,
Mongon. And Andrew is showing why he's at the top of the leaderboard here. Just back-to-back dealer Mongon wins. And now at 54,000 points. And another great high pie.
Another pretty good start in here. You're looking for that 2-3-4 or 3-4-5 Sanshuku. Can't complain about it starting out at that. Even here, getting rid of the 9-pin, which could accept Dora, but the shape would be terrible. So I agree with that. On the right, hedging towards that 1-2-3 Chanta, and that'd be a fun way to complete that hand. It's a long way off. Across the way, I have an East pair, and the rest of the shapes aren't great, so I think you just call and go. And on the left, we have a Chun pair. And now, really interesting shape is how you want to play that in pin. I see the East come out from Andrew. It is not called.
Yeah, interesting for Josh. I kind of want to make use of that 8-pin Dora, and if I'm keeping that block, then I want to keep the whole thing and maybe angle towards Itsu perhaps. I think I prefer dropping the So shape. But this does
I
keep
dropped the
more
pin shun
shapes.
as well. I haven't given up on just straightforward Honitsu.
Hmm.
And of course, other people look at me, Korak, you're crazy. I'm like, yes, and
We see Tempai for Andrew on just the Kanchan 7-mon. Will not take the Ricci here.
yeah, it doesn't even want this. And it's probably a situation where if you draw the 7, you're tempted to 4-8-10 3-sided Ricci it.
Without seeing the Dora, I think I'm fine just taking the Tsumo there, but... Ooh. Well, this is a Nobekan.
1
Yeah, that's a nice little upgrade, and you get some extra foo.
Three, 6 looking good in the wall as well. 5 out. Well, make that 4. 4 in the wall.
Nice dodge with the 8. Could have pushed more directly with the 6, but didn't want to take it. Dang, Travis is just folding at this point.
Now, Josh could work towards a Chitoi here. Ishanten, actually.
With 2 Dora, I mean, you just take it. I honestly kind of want to go back and see what caused the 1-mon cut.
Tuso's not amazing, but it might be better than the other non-pairs at least.
Does get shoved and does pass. We see all the 6s and 7 now, especially another 6. That so does not feel like the weight.
Still one more 3-mon on the wall for Josh to draw for Tempai. Ooh.
You're just gonna, I think, oh, that's a Tempai. I smashed the button for sure there. Take your, oh no, will not push the 3-pin. I definitely like the Dora weight there. Of course, we know it's completely dead.
Yeah, Pinzu looking kind of rough here. Oh no, the 3-pin revealed to be safe.
1
We see a Chi there on the right, trying to get towards K10, just get some points out of this, but probably won't have time to make it.
Ryukyoku it is.
And just gets 3,000, which with a Ricci Nomi is certainly good enough.
Oh my goodness. Anko of the East
What are
Wind.
these hands? Well, I mean, that's how you end up winning the table with a plus 300.
There's a stick and 4 Honba as well. So call and go certainly has some extra value to it.
1
And can use the Dory. I'd even take that. And there it goes. I mean, when you're sitting with this kind of float, you just Mincon the East if it comes out. I probably would.
It seems to be that kind of day for Andrew. I mean, Clinton has a reasonable Tanyo hand on the right. Travis even could call this Haku for a speedy hand. There's just not so much value in that. Oh, this is your second chance, your last chance, and drops the door immediately afterwards.
Ishunten across the way.
If you're greedy, you drop the 7-pin instead.
You do not. I do not like cheating this too. It doesn't help you very much.
Yeah, it's a really awkward call.
Oh, and that would have been able to connect the door up, but instead it's those pretty good shapes. And here we'll see, is there going to be a con? Nope.
Yeah, for that first call, Andrew's been steadily improving his shapes. Just needs a connector to that pin tile, and there's one.
No, I'd have to cut the 6-mon here, try and accept the Dora. I guess the more efficient cut is the 7 so. But yeah, I don't want that sitting in my hand any longer than I have to.
Interestingly, Travis just drew the 2-mon himself, so could now call for a Tonki Tempai. Clinton has now drawn a 9-pin, so maybe Tanya is not going to be the route here. Ooh.
Ooh, interesting decision. Yeah, I like this play. You also haven't completely given up on a Honitsu shift later.
Entirely possible. A little tricky, but there are a world where that happens.
Nice shape upgrade there for Travis.
That's a Tempai.
And this is Tempai waiting on 4E10, 3-6.
1
Could have taken the 1-4 weight as well.
Yeah, I definitely would take it to 1-4 for that reason. Oh, punished immediately.
It always seems to go that way. Incidentally, Andrew has called into Tempai here, waiting on that Trombone 6 so 7 so. Oh, and there's the Dora. Well, you weren't getting that from
Gee.
Josh, so.
Well, yeah, I like this. So you done the door Tonki. This is 4E10, but it's not like the 5-mon's going to come out from anyone. So
Yeah.
4E10 just fine. The
Nope.
only problem is there's only one
Right.
left. And surprisingly, it actually is still on the wall.
You see Clinton Tempai as well for the 5-pin.
Yep, just the Itsudora.
Switch now made to the 6-9 so. Travis has been working his way all around. There's one 6 so left in the wall, so the number of weights is the same. But at least you're not Fudi-ten. Really, everyone looking for that last 6 so. Of course, for the 5-pin, there's only one left in the wall for that as well. 2 tiles. And there it is!
Oh, there it is. There it does eventually get the Subo. Will just be the 1 Han, but with 2,300 or 2,200 in the middle, that's good enough to mitigate some of the damage, stay in second place, and move to East 3.
Alright, Clinton's turn now as dealer. Not amazing, but you have Dora, you have blocks, you can at least try to improve those shapes and work towards a Ricci. To the right, Travis. Also a bit of a mess here. Now we're in the east round and you only have a singleton of that wind as well as a singleton of your own seat wind in the south. And the shapes just aren't amazing here. Although that Penshan fill does help. Across the way, Josh has the Yakuko high pair of the west. And just no value outside of that. Maybe a 2-3-4 Sanshoku though. And on the left, Andrew. Probably the best hand here. Probably Ricci Tanya Pinfu, but there is a door in hand. If you can pair that up, probably use that as the pair. If not, it'll likely come out pretty soon.
Here really wanted to pull in that 8-mon rather than the 5-mon to get some value out of this hand. Other than that, I'm not seeing much. Of course, they deal draw, of course, is drawing another Dora. When is it not?
Well, this is a draw into Ishanten.
This is kind of when you have to make a decision. I'd still cut the 3 so and hold on.
Oh.
A very greedy play cutting the 9-pin. Wants both the Apeco and the Dora, but we'll have to take a step back in this hand as a result.
Yeah, and if you can't get the door, at least a Tanyo. That 7-pin draw gives Travis a look at 567 Sanchoku. Would take some hand maneuvering, and this door draw is probably going to stop that cold.
No, you also see 2-8-mon out, so it's not like it's a great draw.
1
Andrew does find Tempai first, as expected. Did get the ideal 3-pin draw a turn earlier, and that means, or a couple turns earlier. So it will be Riichi Pinfu Tanyao.
Waiting on 3-6, there are 5 left. And this 3-so in Clinton's hand feels very loose.
Can pass
I
the
think he's
door
got the
safely.
door the first turn, though. Yeah, so you get that. The 7 will feel pretty safe here with Suji. But the question is, what happens after that?
Right, you're really just...
Could even call
Ooh.
that down for Tanyao.
本
I mean, if you're willing to fight this, I think it's the best way to get there. Just speed up your own hand, even if it is at the result of losing a little bit of value.
And now, if you're basically anyone at the table, you're wondering, how's anyone going to have value? About the only thing it can be is a Riichi Pinfu Tanyao, maybe Sanchoku or Ipeko.
Right.
And
相撲
unfortunately, that is what Andrew has. Will sumo it, though. Riichi sumo Tanyao.
Let's check the Yura.
And Pinfu, no aura, but still 5,200 and the reach stick back. And Andrew is now over 60,000. The big fight for everyone else is to stay over 30K, or rather get back over 30K.
It seems that difficult when Andrew seems to just always have it. I mean, looking at his hand now across the table, East pair already. And reasonable shapes outside of that, so...
What do you think of that pay cut? I almost want to get rid of the 8-mon and move towards the Honitsu. Oh, negative backfire.
Yeah, you know what? I was not thinking Honitsu from the get-go, but after drawing back-to-back pays, it definitely would have been on my mind.
Well, now has a bunch of pairs in the hand. Could go Chitoi. In the meantime, Dealer also has a bunch of pairs, 4 of them here.
I want this to be Suanko for Travis.
Would certainly make the game interesting here with a 48,000 sumo, but a long way off still. Now it definitely feels like Chitoitsu. 7-pin or 3-so? 3-so is completely useless to this hand as far as I'm concerned. I'm never going regular with this. And of course, there was 2 3-so out already. You don't really need it.
I mean, if you draw another 3-so, then you can think about Ipeko, but then you're Chitoi Tempai, so there's no reason to
Yeah,
to
well,
go
not
that way.
only that, but you're talking about drawing the last 3-so in the entire wall,
Right.
which we happen to know is locked in Andrew's hand.
That is Yakuhai pair for Josh. We haven't seen it come out just yet. So still yet to see whether Josh is willing to open this hand or not. I'd imagine as we're approaching the second row, he would definitely be willing to.
You can see the 6-man Sekigiri
Boom.
by Andrew. Doesn't want anything to do with this. And now you see a call of the south on the right there by Josh for what would be South Dora 1. Silly Shunten, though.
Clinton with too many pairs discards away from the 8-mon pair. And then the Walk is another pair. And so there's the big question, was this a Chitoi hand?
1
All along?
It's a great tile for Josh to be able to call. Now waiting on the 7-so, but there's only one left, and I can't see it ever coming out of dealer's hand now.
Tempai for Clinton. Just
We'll
on the
just
7-pin.
Dama here.
Yeah.
Yeah, just waiting on the 7 would be Richinomi, and there's only one left, so certainly understandable. We see a weight upgrade on the right now for South Door, waiting on 4 7-so, but dealer has those pretty well blocked.
1
This is a chance
Now
to change
that
the
is
weight.
a much better Tempai on the left.
582.
There it is. Yep, the 852.
Oh, and there's the Chuso.
Oh, and it's going to be
Done.
Ipatsu.
Yeah, Suji.
Riichi Ipatsu Dora. No aura, but a direct hit of 5200, and Clinton all of a sudden makes this fight for second a whole lot closer. And Josh is now look at a pretty good starting hand here. Actually, Ishanten for Richi Nomi. You're looking for a way to integrate a 3-4-5 or 4-5-6 Sunshiku into this hand, or even Tanya,
Right.
but you'll take what you can get. On the right, that definitely feels like an Itsu, but you need a 2, an 8, and a 9 to get the most value from it. Interesting draw there for Josh. Just cut the 1 pin, cuts the 9.
Thinking
Gonna be
Tanya.
basically the same effect. Across the way, Pinfu type hand there as well, and you're looking for more value and just not seeing it there. On the left, though, that has plenty of value with a Hakuanko and a Dora, maybe even Honitsu on top of it.
Yeah, Travis had a decision to make and dropped the 2
No, I
mon.
definitely would have called that 7 mon.
1
Dealer, though, says, okay, we've had enough fun. Richi Tanya waiting on 2-5-8. The 5s are completely dead. The 2 only has 1 and the 8 only has 1.
Wow. Usually your 3-sided weight is a little bit better than that, although the Entotsu can be swallowed up. I mean, you're holding so many of your own winning tiles that it only takes a few.
Well, there's another 8, so just 1 out left of the whole wall at this point.
Ishanten on the left for Travis.
Uh-oh. You might see the 2 pin getting pushed later. Okay, it does throw the 9 back safely. And that is Tempai on the left. The 7 so did just come out twice.
Yeah, it's deciding between Richi or Dama. Ends up taking the Richi despite 2 7-so being cut. 7-so still looks pretty safe given the fact that it's Suji to this secondary
Yes,
reach.
it definitely looks safer than it actually is.
Yeah, a little bit dangerous for Andrew having discarded 1 7-so already, but has been bailed out so far. Getting the 7 mon discard and 1 so discard. Free save tiles.
Now, the 1-1 is safe to both, so we'll have at least 1 more, and now 2 more turns. And it's feeling as though Andrew's not going to be in any real danger if it is folded correctly.
Oh, and there's the last 7-so.
Well, it's 1 versus 0 at this point.
It is so hard for
Where's
that to be
that
the
last
weight.
2 pin?
You can see 3 of the 8-so, all of the 9-so. No, just 3 of the 9-so. Haku's Shompai, of course, because we can see them all on the left, so you don't really want to drop that here. Andrew will have to pass 1 more tile.
One mon safe. It's been safe for a while, but I don't think Andrew realized
He
it.
found
But
it.
Suji at that point, so it does find it. And we have 2 players, Tempai.
Well, this is a
Ooh, what
bit
do you
more of
do
a
here,
mess.
Dealer? Yeah, it's kind of messy. There are plenty of directions you can move it. Even 79 Sunshiku, you have, of course, the Dora. If the Dora pairs up, then you don't have to think about this hand, but that's going to require some effort. On the right, that's a much better starting hand. Not much value unless you pair up Dora as well, but the shapes are significantly better. Across the way, definitely Pinfu. 1, 2, 3 Sanshoku is the dream. On the left, maybe a 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku, but probably just more Tanya.
Yeah, Josh hasn't seen much improvement in these first few draws. That 3-so allows Andrew to think about some type of lower Sanchoku as well.
I did see Clinton trying to lock in the 1, 2, 3 Sanchu, cutting 4 so. There goes the first door, and this is about the time when they start all flowing out normally.
Yeah, now that was
Nope, going to keep it.
interesting choice for Clinton because if you're aiming for the Sanchoku there, you need a pair somewhere. You would love for it to be the Dora, but the 8-pin could also act as your pair in this hand. So decided to really greed for the Dora Tonki here.
There's a 3. Is this going to be just cheat and go for the
Cheat.
Dorotanki? There it goes. I mean, you have to cut the 3 mon now, don't you?
Yeah.
There it goes.
I mean, there's a world where there's could end up being Chanta as well.
Yeah, I think it's a good play there by Josh, getting rid of that Dora, where you take a look at that pawn, you go, what on earth? I gotta get rid of this thing while I have a chance.
Clinton's weight getting worse and worse here. Only one left, assuming that Clinton even finds Tempai here. That one mon is
Well,
not a
you
bad
can always
pickup.
move towards Shanta.
Exactly.
Or Junchan even. I probably would have kept that 7, so. Yeah, just completely abandons it at this point.
Interesting that you'd abandon the Dora over the Hatsu, though. Hatsu is completely dead here. The Dora should still be pretty safe. I mean, it only deals into one player. And that would have to be a Hellweight Tonki. In the meantime, somehow Josh's hand has turned into Tanya.
Tanya looking for a 4-5-6 Sanjaku shift eventually. Oh, that is Tempai across the way, but it'd be Fury 10 can only win on the 2. And you have to take the Tempai. There's actually a 2-3 weight, but the 3 has no Yaku and is in the discards. So can only sumo the 2 to end this hand.
There are 3 of the 2 mon still in the wall. So good sumo chances.
Ooh, and the 3 is actually very disappointing. I want so much more here.
Andrew values the Yamen shapes.
Yeah, I definitely like cutting 6-7 mon and going for Stonanko. Now that 9 actually cannot be used because you would be on a 6-9 where you can only win on the 9 and the 9s are dead.
Oh, there's
So
the
as bad as
Haku.
410 is, yeah. Still, with just the way the rest of this hand developed, you did not want that Haku sitting around in your hand. 6 mon should be very scary, but figures the rest of the table is just messing around. We'll just push, and it's the right play.
Travis on the left has amazing shapes, but not really any time to finish
Eat.
filling them.
Tempai on the right. Richi Nomi.
Not afraid to take this Ricci with all the Dora being gone and no one really looking like they are.
Could see a Chi for Tempai, and that's going to be the
Sumo.
play.
Oh.
And it causes the 2 to shift over. And it's a Richi Sumo with an Ura. You get all that food because the Onko will be 8,500 altogether. And
Whew.
wow, just Andrew continuing to roll. And look at that hand.
Hello, Chanta? Honitsu? Both?
Mahjong is an easy game. Just get hands like this.
Andrew's trying to set the record for the most points in a season. Con?
I mean, I'd do it.
Con for fun. No, just going the Honitsu route. Okay.
Yeah, just playing it straightforward. Maybe a con later, but for now, just going for the Honitsu.
Well, the hand on the left is already Ishanten. Very wide.
Ooh, that's a
Ishanten
pretty
too.
nice hand there. Yeah, Ricci, Pinfu, possible Tanyao. It's not like anyone here has a bad hand. The
No.
worst one's probably the one across. There's the door. That's the easiest call of your life.
Especially when you already have the Tanyo made.
Yeah, exactly. It's, well, okay, we'll get rid of our bed shape and get 3 door out of this.
So Ishanten for the door hand. It does need to find a 4-mon, however, Andrew's been discarding nothing but Monzu, so you're expecting it to come out eventually. Can we walk our way down if we were in Josh's seat to a 4-5-6 Sanchoku?
Well, that 5 comes out. That's going to be Tempai. You chi. That's, no, doesn't chi it. I think that's a pretty big mistake. You see Mongun Tempai, you take Mongun Tempai.
Yeah,
Now
there's
we're looking at Andrew's hand. You're wondering, well, maybe I should have gone for Kokushi.
You're wondering why Andrew hasn't made any progress yet. It's because across the way, Travis has drawn nothing but so tiles.
Yep. I'm actually getting fairly close to a Chinitsu. Oh, I'm surprised that 4 is not taken. Instead,
Each.
wow,
Is
look
Clinton
at
going
that.
for
That's
Toy
already
Toy?
Ishan 10 for. Oh
Gee.
no, but the 6 is going to deal in. I don't see Trav. Oh, maybe gets away with it for that draw. Maybe.
No, he's going for it all.
Two is not Tempai there for Clinton. We'll cut the 3 and then 2 later.
It's Richie Tanyo Pinfu on the left.
Another choice to use that 5. Doesn't want it now either. Andrew just folding out at this point.
Travis says this is Chinitsu or bust. We don't need the South.
8 safe.
Home.
Okay,
Andrew's
he's going
back
to
in
make
it.
the late play towards Honitsu.
8-pin is safe.
That's Dora, and says, I'm not going to throw Dora, but that's not the dangerous tile in the hand, actually. Ricci, Pinfu, Tanya, no Aura, but they will get Josh back to second place.
Yeah, that was a very wild hand, everyone. Some really interesting spots.
East 3, dealer has Haku pair of floating Dora, decent shapes elsewhere. On the right, yuck. That's about as bad as hands get. I've seen plenty worse ones, but now you have Dora, so I definitely would have kept that south and maybe cut the east, trying to fish for a pair. Just call and go with Dora. Across the way, we have a Chun pair and a Dora. On the left, we have a bunch of pairs.
Yeah, I think if I'm in Travis's
Home.
seat, or a hand that's similar to this, when I've got the 2 Dora but nothing else going on, I want to hold these honors a little bit longer, at least the ones that can give me value, much longer than I normally would, because it's really my best chance at being able to win the hand, is to pair up an honor, call it for Yakuhai, and then win with a Dora. As it is, there's an Itsu chance now, so backup plan attained.
Nice little upgrade there for Clinton. Says, Dora, who needs Dora?
Might even call that.
And Travis says, I kind of want it, but passes. What do you think of taking the Chi and just selling out an Itsudora 3?
Yeah, I like it. It's very aggressive. It locks your hand, but you know, there's the old saying, call the door and find your Yaku later. In this case, you already know what
Well,
your
the thing
Yaku's
here
going to
is
be.
you know what your Yaku would be.
Exactly.
It's just you're not that close to it. Speaking, Tempai on the 2-5, and then 2 is drawn, but not going to be discarded at least immediately.
Don't.
There's the 5, though.
I think that might be Andrew's first deal in this game.
Well, if the 1 Han, you're not that worried about it. If anything,
No.
it just makes the fight even closer for third place. Here has a Chun pair, and that's the last one. You have to just call it. Here's the last one is the Dora indicator. On the right, Pin Futai Pan, but pretty slow. Across the way, Pin Futai Pan, but pretty slow. And on the left, Pin Fu Han, but pretty slow. Maybe you can make Tanyao. You really just want to pair up the Dora.
Yeah, when the Haku's been the door, it's so hard to use. This time, though, 3 in the wall instead of 3 in different hands.
Pulls in the 5 pin and now has a lot of options for how to play it.
Yeah, Yanshan done
Might have
there.
kept the 5 and hedged towards Sanchu. I don't really like that Pen-Chun.
Clinton just holding good shapes here. And we've seen Clinton pass these Diamond calls a lot this game. Probably a stylistic thing. Especially in a position like this where you really just need to draw more tiles to connect to your other floaters.
And Andrew has the chance to call Khan and says, nope, doesn't fit in the hand. We're going to move on.
Home.
There's a pawn by Clinton. Ishan 10. Of course, there is still a chance to upgrade to Honitsu. Or Toy Toy for that matter.
Ooh, that's a draw. Looks like we're going to have another chance for Clinton to call pretty
Yeah,
soon.
going for the Dora Tonki. 2 so has to come out. Here it goes out there. That's an easy pawn. Should be an easy pawn. Unless you have Onitsu Braid, you have to take that pawn.
I'm sure
It's
Clinton
not
was
just the Tempai, it's the... By the way, you can also draw a 3 or a 5 and go Toy Toy.
right. I'm sure Clinton was thinking, how close am I to this Toy Toy actually? Could I convert this? Or rather to the Honitsu.
Well, I guess you just take your 1 Han. You haven't completely given up on it, but it's feeling unlikely now.
Yeah, there's still the 6 mon. You're feeling like the 5's pretty dead, but...
Tempai on the left, we'll have to shove Dora.
Does not like doing that.
Yeah, doesn't want to. That's the type of... And you're going to feel some regret when that happens, but this is the type of play where if you deal that, you could end up losing first place. A lot of the time, that is going to end up dealing into a dealer Hanemon.
Each.
So I actually like the defense a lot here.
Yeah, awkward that there's a Ricci immediately after the door discard. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Just Sumo and Clinton in a much better 3rd place now. When you get a hand like this, I'm just immediately saying it's Kokushi. Doesn't matter. Forso, that's going to be the play.
Yeah, you could see Clinton was counting.
I mean, you'd love to be able to shift this towards Chanta or Sanshoku. Ooh, now to Tuso. Now you actually have some options because now you get a second pair. You could go Honitsu and Dora, maybe Chanta. If you draw another Mon tile specifically, that's when you have to start making decisions. But 2-pin should come out almost immediately.
Oh, no pawn on the north. We'll wait for the second one.
No, I don't like the pawn there. I do not like the 3, though.
Yeah, that is the Dora suit. So maybe this is just a full-blown commitment to the Kokushi.
Yeah, it wants to get rid of it now before it gets particularly dangerous. I definitely like having that 2-3-8 in my hand and then all these other options to not completely abandon the Kokushi.
I mean, Clinton might also be considering just Chitoi on top of this. If you pair up the Dora, then you have 4 pairs.
And especially they're throwing the 6-pin. Now it looks like a Kokushi pot.
Around the table. Andrew.
Ooh, well now you have some fun. Now you have all these pairs. And has not given up on it. I'd pawn this.
Home.
And that's going to be the play. You're kind of sad that it's come to this, but that's the last chance. The Kokushi doesn't feel like it's coming. You're getting towards the second. I'd pawn this, cut the 9 so.
Home.
At the very least, you're making yourself look very scary.
I decided to cut the 1 pin just because 2 of them are out already. It would be very hard to use it. Ishanten across the way. Hand isn't very good, though. Well, there's a Dora pair. Oh, my goodness. Look at that draw.
There are no Hatsu left. There's one
Clinton's
Haku
been
left.
sitting here with this 9 so just stuck to this hand.
Each.
Andrew just smashes the button. Does not believe in this hand that Clinton's putting together.
Well, Clinton looks like he's kind of folded at this point. We know that's not the case, but... Tunes 2 out, so that's a 3rd one. Pretty safe. You put a bit of a squeeze here on Travis. You're a little afraid to throw some of these things like the South here.
Right.
I believe it's
Yeet.
Tempai across the way. It is. That's going to be a Ricci on the 5-8. Oh, that's going to be the end of it for Clinton. Doesn't want to push into both Ricci.
Oh.
There's the double road. Ricci, Ipatsu, Pinfu, and the Aura. And there's a Mungon, as Josh is now over 30,000. And just the Ricci Pinfu with no aura. And Andrew says, well, I guess I net 1,000 out of it. Clinton will get a great starting hand there. That is Shinitsu.
Oh, already 2 calls.
Oh my
Pump.
goodness, we missed a little something, didn't we? Across the way, that is Honitsu, Toy Toy, Hunroto, Sha,
Chi.
Chun, Baimon. Ishantan already.
ち
All right. Are you? Oh, never mind. Hatsu's twice cut now. I was gonna say,
Yep.
do you like the Pei Tanki or the Hatsu Tanki? One's cut Hatsu, but if
I'm
it's twice
cutting
cut,
Hatsu.
yeah.
If you end up on Hitsu, you do not complain about it with this hand. And Trav's going to hold on to the Us Hatsu as a
Chi.
safe option.
Josh is aiming to end this thing with the Tanya.
Which, considering what we're seeing from the other hands, not a bad idea.
Tenpai now just the 4-pin will win here.
Now, the 1 would come out first, but cannot win.
ち
I would chi with the 4-6, not the 5. Not with the 6-7. I'd cheat with the 4-6.
Ishantan for Clinton now. And this could be Tenpai.
That's an easy chi. But
Chi.
that 4 is going to come out probably.
Oh, dodged!
No, what a dodge! Clinton with the Chinitsu Dora 2 and manages to get away, not throwing the 4-pin.
That's incredible. Does
Oh no,
Andrew
and
deal
there
in
it
here?
goes! And I don't think that gets thrown. I don't think Andrew's going to shove that.
Now maybe if Andrew gets Tenpai. I mean, if you deal into a Baimon, you're still feeling pretty comfortable.
I mean, you can't even confirm it's Baimon at this point. As far as you know, it's Honitsu, but you kind of wonder why would the calls be that way. That East is also pretty scary. This may be when the fold comes. No, there it goes.
Dora Tanki for
And there's
Travis.
Tonki adding on 1 pin
It's the last
for
one.
East Dora 2.
Ah, what a symbol there.
9 safe. Yeah. The 6 is just a mistake. You should be cutting the 9 there. Because you know it passed last turn. No one changed their hands. The 6 could easily deal into that Jinitsu on the left. Could see a weight shift here on the left. Nope.
It's just been Tenpai this whole time. Do you fear the 6? So 3 passed earlier, I guess. Much earlier, but
7 so pass could have
Pump.
honed and changed the weight.
oh, Andrew reads
Now we
it.
have another person waiting on 4-pin.
カン
And could see a con, and there's a con.
5
Oh
Sodora.
my goodness.
That only helps Josh. Oh, there's the 6 so.
4-pin will
Sumo.
deal
Oh,
into
there-
3 people. It's a sumo!
Oh my goodness, what a hand that was.
Tanya, Dora, and Josh exhales.
Clinton dodged
When they-
a Roan. Andrew dodged a Roan. Josh finally gets the Tsumo.
Some great defensive play there. Figuring out that 4-pin was the tile everyone needed, and boy was it. But that's going to be Andrew with the first place here, extending the domination of B1 with a 50.6 first. In second is Josh with an 8.3. In third is Clinton with a minus 17.5. And in last is Travis with minus 41.4. And you'll notice that Travis is currently 21 of 24 there on the right. That is because Travis missed the first 2 games of this session, so ended up taking a penalty. Was sitting right around that plus minus 0 range, but after missing 2 games, a big 4th here, is now down at minus 100, but still safely in B1. As I mentioned earlier, the graphic there is wrong. There are only 3 demotions out of B1, as B2 could not fill all their promotion slots.
And so now the question really is, how high can it be for Andrew? What is the mark here? Can we make it to 400?
Well, when you have a 31% win rate, It's pretty hard to stop them. That's not the only person with a ridiculous win rate. We see Riley at 29.3 and Joshua, who's in that last promotion spot with a 29.2% win rate.
Wow, just the
You've
difference.
definitely seen some domination, even in the lower end here. Anya and Clinton and Travis all over 20%. Clinton sitting around 23%. So this is a very aggressive division.
Mm. Yeah, it looks like we're just a minute away from starting. Let's head back over. But yeah, Andrew, 30% win rate, 10% deal-in. Over 20% difference between the two.
Andrew's been playing, as I said before, very textbook. And you saw a lot of that, especially in that last hand. Knew that 4-pin was dangerous, saw no reason to throw it. Didn't end up winning the monster hand, which you look at those tiles. If you'd assume it, everything would have been there, but would have dealt in along the way. But we're here in the final game of ARML for 2022, as we're close to the end of 2022 in general. And Travis here is first dealer with the double East. We will need the pawn on that, and then the 4 Pandora on the right. Feels like a Pinfu hand. Not too much other value. Across the way, we have South pair, few pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's actually Chitoi Shunton. Now you have a real decision. Just kind of keeping as many options open there, cutting the 7. So on the left, we have the Pei pair and Chun pair. You can pull in both of those. Well, that 6 pin's a very awkward draw. If you cut something, you're breaking away from Chito, and you can't call anything. I almost just want to throw it back. Instead, we'll throw the Tuso. The big problem here is, no, I think Tuso is a mistake. If you're going to cut out of this, you absolutely cut the South because it's dead.
Yeah, I was gonna say the 9 so South
폼,
normally is a fairly reasonable Shampoo weight, but when one side of that is completely dead and the other side is one's cut, it looks a little worse.
Dealer now Tempai waiting on Dora. There is only one left in the wall, though.
We know Andrew's soaking up 2 of them. There's one in the left in Josh's hand. There's pairs in that hand as well, but if you end up going Chitoi, you're going to wait on the door, so don't imagine it leaving that hand either.
Well, that's going to stop any problems. I think you just cut the 5-pin, could cut 4 mon as well. Instead cuts the Pei. Oh, that makes sense. There are 2 of those discarded. Oh my goodness, pulls another Dora in. Bit of a monster developing there for Josh.
You shut done now.
Problem is, you cannot call the Chun for Tempai. It is likely going to be the pair in this hand.
Gianpeko?
Oh my goodness. 5-6, so let's go.
All
right.
There we go. It looks like a great weight here, given what's been discarded.
Oh
but
my goodness.
come on, I want to see it. The last Armel match of the year. Show us the Gianpeko.
Yeah, just gets rid of the 6. Well, there's a chance. And dealer knows this weight is terrible.
Yeah. There's no getting away
This
from
is kind
it.
of when you're sweating. You see so many. Uh-oh.
No,
Throw
that
the
doesn't
East
help.
first, but that 4 may come out later. Okay. He's just going to commit to it at this point.
Yeah, technically efficient to drop the East first, then you can call the Chun for Tempai. But
You
you'd
would
be
have to
dropping the
throw that
4.
4-pin Doro to deal into dealer here. So a preemptive dodge there by Josh.
I mean, and if you've been watching Travis's discards here, just like an entire row of Smokiti.
1,
Yeah, and Josh has completely turned calls off at this point. Now, this Ricci is a mistake by Andrew. There is only 1 9-so left. Of course, he's going to dry given how things have been so far.
If Travis draws it, then he should recognize the 6-so is safe. But danger if Clinton grabs it. I mean, 9-so Suji to this Ricci as well is being once cut. We're running out of tiles.
That is
폼,
Tempai if you take it, and will. 7 is safe, so I like that play a lot.
Go Chun Chun.
Tempai now on the left, you just take the Chitoy. 3-mon's reasonably safe.
But if you go Chitoy, you're not getting Dion Pick. I guess there aren't any tiles left,
It's
so
the
you just
last
take the
draw.
Tempai.
I don't care. You just got the 3-mon there,
Chi.
and you have Tempai. Could Chi into Tempai, and will do so. Now waiting on the 3-6. And everyone's Tempai.
Allows Travis the luxury of seeing where all of his winning tiles were.
And Travis says, well, we missed the double east last time. Let's try it again.
Also, Chitoy chances. There's 4 pairs here, but it's almost never going to be it.
No, on the right, we have the Onko of the Chun. Decent shapes, or maybe a 2-3-4 Sanchiku eventually. Across the way, ugh. You have a Haku pair. The rest of the shapes are okay, but you have so many honors in that hand. On the left, we have a Hatsu pair. And not great other shapes, but I think you just call and go.
This Chunanko hand looking
Boom.
very speedy. The
Boom.
Pots will be the first call, then the Haku. And will we see a con just to show?
We see a. You can see
Con.
the temptation.
Yeah, there we go.
Con!
Reveals the 7 so.
Technically, Ishan 10 will need the 3 so twice.
Chi.
7 so helps. Josh on the left.
Ishan
No
10
one
on the
else.
left as well. That's going to be called by dealer. At least it should be. Oh, okay.
Just draw it. If you know the
Oh, wow.
if you know the east is the next down the wall, then there's no need to call it.
Chi.
And shape upgrade across the way. Still Ishan 10. Well, now you have the east, so you're like, well, do I go Suanko? Oh, I don't like that 2-bond.
And breaks away from the Chitoy chance there.
I'm definitely cutting the 6-7 pin there. I guess it's a little dangerous the rest of the table.
Oh,
And punished for it. It should be Ishan 10 for Suanko.
although I think if you are just going 2-mon here,
Con.
I guess. Ooh, another
Con.
con.
Oh, and you draw that, and immediately you're going to have to cut Dora, and you're very sad about it, but you have to do it.
Well, Andrew
And
now
the
has 2
2-mon,
Dora.
there's that one loose in the dealer's hand, which is probably going to flow out.
Yeah, Travis are probably thinking about declaring Ricci with these indicators, but
Tempai across the way, 3-6 so. And
Long.
there it goes. You knew it was going to come out, and you look at that, and you how do I only get 1 Dora?
well, Andrew's holding them all. We move to East 2. It's kind of awkward for dealer, all these lone honor tiles. Holding as many of them as he can. Another pair up of a tile that isn't super useful, so just probably aiming for Ricci here. To the right, Andrew with a very nice hand. He's on 10 for Ricci Pinfu. Potential Dora. Across the way, Josh with a nice hand as well. A slightly worse. It's hard to get better than Andrew's. But you do have a Dora in hand. Might be able to get Pinfu there as well as the just Ricci Dora. And on the left, Travis has the East pair and a Dora. Could be a call and go. Except Travis, we know, doesn't like to do the call and go. Likes to stay closed. So we'll see how long he holds out.
No, Ishunton now. Now you feel like it's destined to flow out from dealer's hands. So the question is, do you just want to call for the Penchon for 2,000? Answer is I sure would. In fact, I don't necessarily, when I look at this, I wonder if the 9-pin should have been kept over some of those honors. I'm always looking for extra value. And you look at those wins in the discard, you're like, could this have been Honetsu?
I mean, with 2 norths and 2 wests, the answer is yes at this point. Of course, you don't know that at the start of the hand, but you might be
No,
leaning
you
that
certainly
direction.
don't. But it's not like the 9-pin's that useful. The 9 so isn't great either. When you have that 4, 5, 6, you're definitely not always thinking Honetsu.
Well, 5,
Especially when you have to cut Dora to get it.
5 pairs for dealer. We'll see if this is a call, though. It is passed, so Clinton likes
Nope,
the
that
Chitoy
is
here.
a sellout for Chitoy.
Each.
Oh, Andrew does get there first. Not a surprise. Took even a little bit longer to get to that tempi than might have expected.
Ricci, Pinfu, possible Dora. Weight's actually pretty good. 3-9 so, 2-6 so.
Trappist will try to find a safe path to tempi. The 2-3 shape's really nice, but you have nothing in the Monzu other than that.
There's
8
a Dora. That's going to be the end of this hand for Travis. Cheetoy for dealer here, though. Which weight do you want? Making the decision now. Damas. I do not like the Dama here. Because if someone's going to throw East, a live East. Uh-oh.
It's a Dora
And you see that
Suji
station
tile.
doesn't want to throw this.
1ロン
And yeah, and you have the one turn reach later doesn't help, but ends up dealing. I guess saves 1,000 this way. The Oradora hurts though a bit, and Andrew's going to be in second place, but only 400 off first, and another double East. Has that been every single hand?
I think so.
Except for the previous one, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, every single hand.
Well, gonna be hard to get it this time as Josh has it also paired up on the right. And we can see there are 4 pairs in that hand, in fact. Might even be considerations for Honitsu here.
Passes the West. I'd have just gone for it.
Yeah. We'll draw another Mon tile, so maybe we'll accept the second West should come out. The hand across the way might be looking at 2-3-4 Sanshoku or Chanta.
And you're fine
1,
with
2,
1,
3.
2, 3
Yeah.
Sanshoku. Whichever one comes. This 8-pen's a fun situation. Just call and sell out. The answer is nope.
There's so many directions this hand could go. I don't mind waiting a little bit.
Well, there's a nice little pull in. Still looking for a pair, though. Oh my goodness, look at that draw for dealer.
I mean, this right dealer is going to be able to reach you this.
And Josh realized this hand's pretty much stuck.
Oh, that's not the pair you want.
No, you can't use that one. Surya and Shunten anyway.
Andrew had an option to go Pinfu and just discard East-East here. Decided to hang on to the chance to call for double East. It is odd that you haven't seen an East yet. We're in the beginning of row 2.
Yeah, but a lot of the time they're just deep in the wall.
Right.
Ooh, I'm definitely cutting 9-9 now.
Yeah, there's a chance that an Entotsu wait.
And we see the 1, 2, 3 Sanjuku abandoned there by Travis. You look at the discards here for Andrew, and there are hands that scream more Honitsu than that, but not many.
Yeah, maybe another reason the 9s might have been a better discard. That's a...
And similarly, Josh has just committed this cheat toy, and that definitely looks like a cheat toy pond.
South seems like a pretty good tile to have for Chitoy.
And when I see Josh's discards, this is when I go, okay, wait, is Kokushi dead? Let's see, 1, 2, 4, 1 pin. Okay, it's dead. Now I don't have to worry about it. It's just a cheat toy. But it is something you do want to be paying attention to.
Clinton found Ishanten on the left, was deciding whether or not to go for the full Chinitsu.
Looking for a pair up. Would love to add Itsu to this. Oh, that's a great draw, actually.
It could have a Nobiton shape there. A couple of 6. Actually, all the 6s are
Chitoy
dead.
on the right. Tempai. Might just Dama with okay, there is the Dama. It's going to be waiting on that 4. Figuring if Andrew draws it, it's 100% coming out.
I mean, there's some concern about these Montiles not passing.
Oh, well, there's
that's a
Dora.
Dora.
This is an easy Ricci. Ricci, Chitoy, Dora 2. There is one left in the wall, which with 3 draws is about all you'd ask for.
Yeah, I mean, if the table wasn't reading Chitoy yet, seeing that 4-pin come out as the Ricci tile instead of the 3-mon definitely signals
Oh,
it.
there's the last one. That should never leave the hand.
Boom.
We see K10 taken on the left. I like that play a lot.
Andrew correctly bails.
And the floor is safe. We're going to 2 players tempai.
Well,
And I said Josh felt like he was going for Kokushi last time, and
maybe this time.
I'm feeling Kokushi this time.
9 unique.
1, 2, 3, 9. It's one where it's kind of middling, but it's what's your other choice? I'm cutting 4-mon here.
Not sure if
I
that
don't
was.
hate the 7. I don't hate this because it's so hard to get to a regular hand that if you go Honetsu, you'd like to bluff the Dora suit. And this 9 so would kind of keep all your options open. You end up cutting the 3-4. Given your goal, you've decided you're going to at least bluff Honetsu. I definitely would cut the 3-4. Well, maybe not.
We've
And
just
this is a mistake. You should not be throwing the 7 so here.
Boom.
This gives too much information to the rest of the table that you are very likely going Kokushi.
it
You
does.
get rid of the 3-4 first.
It did allow Josh to pass the 7 so before Travis could call it though. It looks like Travis
Yeah,
is
but
thinking
could you
Toy
read
Toy or
Honetsu
Honetsu.
from that? I sure couldn't.
Yeah, from an early 7, then 3. I mean, I guess you might be thinking about that, but it is definitely an early read.
I think that's a bit much, though. It's 2 so Dora,
Boom.
though, feels very loose. That's going to be a pwn. See, this is when you get rid of that 7 so. Okay, now he probably needs it.
And since the 1-pin was cut from hand, you know it's not a Toy Toy. Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness.
Ishanten.
Ishanten for Kokushi,
Hakun 1-pin.
but the Haku has been called.
So 1 Haku
1
left,
pin,
1
3
1-pin.
discarded, so has to draw one of the 2 remaining tiles and have the other one either be drawn or thrown.
I mean, we've seen some pretty wild Kokushi wins. Here's hoping for another one.
Ishanten on the right. Decided, and I'm never cutting the Dora, so we'll just lock that in now. Ooh,
Yeet.
great draw there on the left. And Andrew says, okay, let's go.
I know that you're not.
Ricci, Tanya, Dora.
He knows 2 players are not gonna be able to use the 6-mon, so even though it's a bad weight, you essentially have 3 drawing pools towards it. Unfortunately, they're getting drawn by Clinton, who can make use of them.
Right. Still just 2 left, and that 4 so could look very scary. Oh, and if you had kept the 1 so, you could be tempai now. You would have to throw Dora, though. But considering the 5 so is discarded, I'd have pushed it.
You're the 9 so Suji, but it also could get called by Travis.
Right, and that's your concern. The question is it tempai yet? We have seen overflow with that 1 so and the 3 so. So you should definitely be thinking there's a very good chance it is tempai. And it could have been tempai again if the 1 had been kept.
Josh is off of it.
Doesn't want to throw this 5-pin. Oh, tempai on the right. East Dora.
He's
So
shown by.
regardless of which way the hand wins, it's going to be...
Oh!
Uh-oh. Never mind.
Yeah.
Ricci, Tanya, Dora.
Andrew's gamble pays off here.
No Ura, but 7,500, and that's going to be first place again for Andrew. Let's just take a second here. Just state how impressive it is that Andrew has 12 first and is now in position for a 13th this season.
And that leads all divisions, correct?
I'm pretty sure. Luce had a bunch of them, but got kind of cut down in the last session in A1. Let's see the standings. Yeah, loose at 11, and then in B3, Jonathan with 11.
That's in absolute control of the win column this season and hoping to just add on to it. Looking good for it right now.
リーチ
And Ricci this time by Josh.
Oh,
Ricci
and
no me unless the
this
tune is the
tune,
win,
this
right?
is one where if you fold, you're going to deal in.
Right. That Dora doesn't fit
Oh,
this
yeah.
hand.
I figured the 9s would come out. The problem is you're ever going to throw that Dora. Inches, I would. But okay, now you have a bunch of safe tiles. The question is this hand worth pushing?
And you can work around this drop 7-so, 7-so.
And wait, potentially for Dora Tonki.
Now the Mon tiles are even clearing up a little bit. Oh, okay. Just draw more of them.
Ooh, okay. Does kind of kill the chance of a 5, 6, 7 Sanshku, though. And you look at that pawn, you're going, maybe I should have gotten Chitoy.
Maybe a little too early to start going here. Also, the hesitation could have been on Andrew's side as well. He had a pair of those. Just bailing out here.
Good chi here. Cut the 2. Oh my goodness. Well, draws the 3. Now Ishan 10.
And that's the last 2-so
Meanwhile,
drawn.
Hand on the right getting fairly close, but still a distance away.
Clinton at C3 of the 6 Mon.
I just threw a 6-so here, and that's what comes out. You could chi the 5, but you'd have to throw Dora. It'd just be for K10. Ishan 10 now on the right for Chitoy Tanyao.
Here's now we're at 10 draws. Just unwilling to pass this, risk this door, rather.
That may be the end of this for Clinton. Everything else looks pretty scary. Does push the 8. That means the 5 is now... Oh, there you go! That is still not Tempai, though. That is so sad.
Ugh, so close. And of course, unable to call the tune because that was paired up on the left, so Josh will be the only player Tempai here.
And good dodge there by Travis, not just saying, well, it's an honor, it's safe. And
Right, I've got 2 of them. What are the odds?
Into that. It's good to be disciplined enough and just follow the rules. Okay, this doesn't make sense. And then when you get towards the end, you're like, why is this still live?
Right.
Well, Andrew now has 2 Yakuhai pair. Potential Shosangan eventually, but still distance away. Maybe 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku now. Or not. I definitely would have cut 1, 2, so. Like, I like the idea of the Honetsu, but so much of the time that 9's going to be your pair anyway, they don't think it adds anything. Dealer now, Tempai, will cut the 4 pin, going for Itsu.
Yeah, once more.
Pure greed here by Clinton. And I feel, I don't mind this play, but I'd cut the 2 pin instead.
That way, if you draw the 5 pin, you have the...
Right, Dan's like, okay, fine. Whereas here, you're just keeping a safe tile. It doesn't do anything for you.
Even here, you might hold something like 6, 7, or 8 pin over...
Wow,
north.
look at that acceptance.
This is incredible. Any Mon tile, 9 pin, any So tile from 3 to 9.
3 to 9, yeah. Although you'd be really sad if you draw 3, so.
Yeah, that would be the worst.
Like, I'd be
you just
really
throw it back.
sad.
We'll just see how many turns this can go by without finding Tempai. Speaking of Itsu, that's Tempai across the way
リーチ
for Ricci, Pinfu, Itsu, potential on the 6 Mon.
Well, this is going to be a chase, I would presume. Will Dama instead.
6, 9 Mon
Chi
is the weight. Just Pinfu.
I don't
Dora.
see the point of Dama here. Like, at this point, there's already Ricci on the table. They'll be throwing literally everything. It's not like Mon tiles look safe against that Ricci. Andrew says, well, thanks for making the 6 safe, but I guess I don't need it if the 4
Boom.
lets me get rid of the 7. That's going to be Tempai on the right. Now Shumpon waiting on 9 Mon Haku.
Yeah, the 6-9 actually not looking that great for Clinton here. Now you can... well,
The
that's
8
actually
safe. You're going to have to worry about
Yeah.
this.
not a great
The
way to
question is
either.
how greedy you want to get in terms of Ipeco, and the answer
Let's
is
take the
very.
Ipeco. Loses the Ricci stick in the
Sumo.
process.
God's a cheap pen, but we'll be fine with Ricci Sumo Pinfu and gets all those Ricci sticks. Moving on all the way to a 6,000 point hand, and we're in South 3.
All right, so Josh in the lead. Andrew chasing down. Nice looking high pie. You can
Just
make
moves it towards the Tanya. You'd love to go 6, 7, 8 Sanchiku with this.
yeah,
That one just doesn't want that shape at all.
that's technically a block, but
You're like, no. Just
give me
no.
Tanya or
Chi.
I'll just throw you back. Well, Josh aiming to just end things here with 3 Dora. I'm not surprised. Tanya Dora 3.
Shunten there on the right. We'll need the 4 pin though.
Well, we saw Josh win one of those before. That incredible hand at the end of the last game. Across the table, that hand's not looking very promising for value. And the hand on the left, though, has an Ankh of the East and a few pairs.
We'll see if Josh realizes the okay. Ooh, 3 pin. That's an interesting cut. I definitely cut 7 pin there. Because that way you can still pair up the 2, the 3, the 6, or the 8, and still accept that 4.
Yeah, this weight, though, isn't bad. You could just look at the 5.
No, plenty
7,
of
8
maneuvering
pin.
you can work with this. Now, especially of that Ryankunt.
Boom.
4, 6, 8.
But it
Chi.
starts to open up, speed us along.
Everyone's like, okay, we've had enough of this.
Looks like
Let the Tanyos commence. Except the one on the left is not a Tanyo.
that's
It's
gotta
a
be
Toy
Toy
Toy.
Toy.
That's going to be a Chi. Tempai here waiting on 4, 7. And that 7 is very loose, except Clinton is going Toy Toy.
We could have seen a Rinshan Nomi if Clinton was stepped by there. Might have seen the con in that situation. Ooh, Andrew thinking about the 6, 7, 8 Sanchoku decides to just take the wider weight here, which I think is probably correct.
Whole bunch of exceptions
Sumo.
here for Josh, but it doesn't matter. It is going to be Sumodora with the Tanya.
And rewarded for not greeting.
And still in second place, but only by 700 points. Has pretty good shapes. Maybe an Itsu. What you're really dreaming of. We need the 1, 3, 5, 7. It's usually just a dream. On the right, Pinfu, maybe Itsu there as well. Across the way, feels like Pinfu. The question is, can you make a Sanchu from it? And the answer is not easily. On the left, a whole bunch of pairs, and you'd love to go Suanko. Already Chito Ishan.
Yeah, Clinton definitely the hand to watch here. Let's see, in this current score, Clinton looking to get above 30,000. Toy Toy might not be good enough here.
We're going to see if it's taken, and it is. Or it's not necessarily just Toy Toy. It could be Sunanko as well, which would be Bongon. Oh, and now you're like, maybe I made a mistake.
Yeah, we know the draw order changed, but which pair do you like here? Chooses the one closer to the
Yeah.
outside. A little hesitation there from
Still
Josh.
building towards that Itsu.
Yeah, thinking about calling for the Itsu, but
I like keeping the east as your relatively safe tile here. The 7 can't fit into this hand. You're never going Tanya with this, not with the 1 pin Unko. Just keep the safe tile and move on. And now the east is safe against literally everything except Kokushi, which no one's going for.
Andrew improves the Ishanten here.
Yeah, going for Ricci, potentially Ricci pin Fudora.
We need to draw that 7 so, which we've only seen one of so far, and that's in Travis's hand across the way.
8 Mun doesn't fit, but neither does the 8 pin.
Each.
Oh my goodness, look at that. That perfect draw there. Ricci, pin Fudora.
2-5
Needs
Mon
it.
wait. 3 in the
Yeah,
wall.
2-5's not bad for this late.
Yeah.
I'm gonna draw that middle Montai. Yes, this is it. Wait, no, it's not. Never mind. This is actually Tempai on the right. It would just be waiting on the 2 Mon.
Is it? It's still
Home.
right.
Sumo.
Oh, but there's the Tsumon.
Thank you very much. Oh, both of them needed the 2 Mon, and Dealer gets it here. Ricci Sumo, Pin Fudora, no Aura, but Andrew up over 47,000. And continues the domination of B1.
Hatsu pair, that's Dora.
Yeah, 2 Dora here, just looking to call and take anything. When you're in a situation like this, you're looking for a backup plan. Is there another Yaku I can get? And the answer is not really.
Very outside Sanshoku chances here.
Lot 5 gives you some options. Yeah, I like cutting the 5 so here. Is you haven't completely given up on the 1, 2, 3, or 2, 3, 4 Sanshku as a backup plan.
Josh's hand, absolute mess on the right. He's dropped 3 honors and still has so many more to get rid of, including the Hatsu. We'll see how long Josh holds on to that. Same thing for
The
Travis.
problem is the rest of the hand is so bad that you're just probably going to keep it till the end anyway.
Right, Travis looking better for a normal hand here, but also has a lot of pairs. Could think about Chitoi, which would incorporate the Dora.
Speaking of pairs, a bunch of those on the left as well, although it could also just be Peiko or even Rion Peiko. And with that, Josh, I think, just has to move towards Chitoi. Everything else is just too far away at this point.
Oh, penchant fill for
Big
Andrew.
draw for Andrew.
Home.
There's the Hatsu.
Oh, there's the Dora. Dealer showing Mungon again.
Just 5 Mon here.
No, you're never cutting 5 Mon. It should be either 3 pin or 4 Mon.
Technically the most efficient.
And Josh pairs up again and is definitely thinking maybe I should have just stuck with the Chitoi.
There's the call for Tempai. Andrew looking for the 7 pin. Twice in the
Just the 7.
Yeah.
2 in the hand across the way and 2 in the wall. That 6 pin looks scary. I'm never throwing that into that pond.
That pin in general. not looking
Basically,
good.
all of upper pin looks really bad. Upper pin and upper Mon both look really bad
Yeet.
against that
Tempai
hand.
will see a Ricci.
Ricci, Tanya, Ipeiko waiting on just 6 pin. There is 1 left on the wall.
Travis says, I
And
see
to me,
you.
this feels more like a I'm in 4th, I have nothing to lose, Ricci.
Right. Oh, and there's the Sumo.
Just Sumo. Ricci, Sumo, Tanya, Ipeiko does hit the 1 outer and will now get into 3rd place. Big win there for Travis.
Cuts Andrew off. We'll go to all last here. The final hand, potentially. The first year of Armel.
Josh has a Pinfu hand. You're looking for that 79 Sanshku. You'd also take the Ipeiko or even a 678 Sanshku shift later. On the right, I saw 3-5, so like, yes, 3 Dora. Oh, wait, no. 3 plus 1, not 5. So you're looking probably more for a Sun Onko there. Across the way, feels like the Peiko is probably the best path. On the left, that is where the 3 Dora are.
What would it take? Let's see. Andrew at first place right now. I want to know what it would take for Andrew to finish with 45.8 points.
チ
Currently sitting at 28. Would need to
Well,
probably
not going to do it with this hand. Even with a direct hit off of first place, knocking under 30k, that'd be a plus 41.
yeah, a little
We'll
short.
get to 395.2, which would be the highest score in ARML history, including all leagues since our inception. But on the right, we have Tempai, and that is going to be a reaching only on 1 4-pin.
I guess if we see some con action, maybe.
That's what it would take, which you also have to realize that Andrew isn't particularly incentivized to hard push, but
Right.
I think you would anyway.
When you've got 3 of the Dora.
That and even a Mongon direct hit, you don't care. And still keeps you in first place. I mean, the -8's a bit annoying. Actually, Ishan 10 now. Needs 3-so and 5-so. But there's only one 3-so left anywhere on the wall.
Could this be our con? Not yet.
Doesn't want to throw the 8-pin. Oh my goodness, what a draw. I'm cutting the 2-so here. Cuts the 6.
Still Ishan 10 for Josh. This might be the time where you con.
I mean, you could.
Still
No.
waiting. Wants Rinshot, perhaps.
5 is safe. We also have to worry about the 4-10 here.
Right. Oh, just
Yeah, just going to be folding out. There's the last 3-so. And that's going to be dealing.
ロン
We have to just take it here. Barichi. No Aura. And with that, Andrew will be in first place here with a 26.7. In second, Josh with a 9.9. In third, Travis with a -9.9. And then fourth, Clinton with a -26.7.
perfectly symmetrical scoreline here. And we'll check the final standings update. But it's going to be Andrew who completes the run through B1 with 13 victories. Get a manual refresh here.
It's just absolute domination, even with 5 lasts, a plus 380.9. So congratulations to Andrew. That is very impressive. Riley also with a very strong season at 273.4. John, Joe, Patrick, Matthias, and Joshua will round out their promotions to A2 next season. On the other end, although the graphic here is actually wrong, because the only ones demoted will be Andrew, Travis, and Cruz due to B2 not filling all their promotion slots, which is kind of expected when they had 13 for a 20-person division needing ±0. But that means that Clinton and Anya will remain in B1. And that is going to wrap up this year in ARML and this season. The only thing that will be left is the championship series, the grand championship of 2022. And that will happen sometime next month among the champions of each of the A1 seasons and the inaugural Beta League champion. That will be Luce, Huang, Kenyon, and Eric, who haven't set a time yet for that, but that will be a championship series. I believe it'll be 4 games. We'll see if it's 2-2 or 4 back-to-back. regardless when that is set, we will tell you when and cast that. In addition, we are getting towards a new year and a new season. So we are planning on a review slash preseason show next week. That will be January 4th on Wednesday at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
Hey,
And with
definitely want
that,
to tune into that. Those are always so much fun, so exciting for the new players who are coming to the league to see what's in store for them, and for the returning players to see what their new divisions will look like, as well as recap what happened in the previous year.
And with that, I think that's about all for this year. Thanks for hanging out with us for the last year. To those who you picked up along the way, welcome as always. We are open. Of course, you can follow us here on Twitch, on Twitter, the website at americarichi.org, where you can sign up for future seasons, and of course, the YouTube page where we have all these commentaries saved and uploaded. And with that, you have any closing thoughts, Nathaniel?
Yeah, just again, big thanks to everyone who stuck with us for an entire year. Looking forward to the next season to see what the next year of Mahjong will bring us.
All right, then. Well, it's pushing midnight here on the East Coast. So good night, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Have a good time.